I think it was Zeno who said that a man conquers the world by conquering himself. Likewise, Marcus Aurelius said that very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all within yourself, in your way of thinking. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. And it was Chrysippus who stated that the wise man lacked nothing, but needed a great number of things, whereas the fool, on the other hand, needs nothing, for he does not know how to use anything, but lacks everything, which is one of my favorite quotes among the great Stoic thinkers. And it is quite similar to a quote uttered by Socrates, that he who is not contented with what he has would not be contented with what he would like to have. And it was Clence who said that the fates guide the person who accepts them and hinder the person who resists them. And you can't forget Seneca, who said that all foolishness suffers the burden of dissatisfaction with itself. And you can be sure that there are many more just like it, and from other philosophers as well. But nonetheless, they are essentially interchangeable. They all point towards one specific direction: self-contentment. Self-contentment is undoubtedly a crucially important characteristic of Stoicism, regardless of who you choose to read, whether it be Zeno, Chrysippus, Marcus Aurelius, Clence, Cicero, Epictetus, or my personal favorite, Seneca. You see, the Stoics believed that the wise man was content with his possessions, and that all he needed was a strong spirit. With this he could remain content, and regard nothing external as valuable. But this doesn't mean that he didn't need a great number of things for life. A man needs a whole lot when it comes to life. He needs hands to perform tasks, feet to walk, a mouth to talk, lungs to breathe, a brain to think, and a whole lot more. But if he doesn't possess much, or anything at all for that matter, he refuses to regard it as a loss, or a misfortune. For his wisdom is the only thing that he regards as essential, because, and I quote Epicurus when I say this, poverty brought into accord with the law of nature is wealth. And although Epicurus was not a Stoic himself, he too believed strongly in self-contentment, which he taught at his Epicurean school of philosophy, because the wise man lives in accordance with nature, and doesn't focus his attention on acquiring external things. This activity we leave for the foolish, constantly desiring more and more, a completely unnatural and perpetual cycle of dissatisfaction. And although Stoicism and Epicureanism oppose each other, they share many similarities. But the Stoics believed in being virtuous and good, not regarding external things as essential, but not becoming so detached that you can no longer feel or desire. And as a Stoic, you still desire to have a friend. As a matter of fact, you actually want as many friends as you can possibly have. But in seeking friendship, you make sure that you are seeking the friendship only for the reason of friendship, and not for anything otherwise. But if someone seeks out a friend merely for the benefits of what the person can give them, then when the going gets tough, they will leave because it is in their benefit to do so. You see, from the Stoic's perspective, if you seek friendship, do it for all the right reasons, merely to be a friend. And if it is for any other reason than that, then the Stoic would refuse to pursue the friendship. As a Stoic, it is your duty to be vigilant in your virtues, and a harsh judge of your own character. To quote Seneca again, virtue is the bond between good men and the gods. The good man is given trials so as to harden himself, and as a Stoic, it is also your duty to remain self-content, and remain this way in hardship or fortune. It is the wise man's choice to always remain happy, and never feel as if he has lost something essential, for the only thing he regards as valuable in life is wholly confined to his inner self. Which brings us to the story of Stilbo, which I would regard as a valuable parable when it comes to the teachings of Stoicism. Stilbo, an undoubtedly self-contented man, chose to remain content when his hometown was captured and burned to ashes. He emerged out of the calamity with his children lost, his wife lost, and nonetheless, a happy man. And he was questioned by Demetrius, the man who was known for delivering destruction to towns, and known as Demetrius the city sacker. And after the destruction, he asked Stilbo whether he had lost anything, and Stilbo replied, "I have all my valuables with me." And so Stilbo emerged victorious over the victory of the enemy. He has lost, he said, nothing. He made Demetrius wonder whether he had even won a victory at all. All of my possessions, he said, are with me, meaning by this the qualities of a just, a good, and enlightened character, and refusing to regard anything that is subject to decay as being valuable. But this doesn't mean that he doesn't love his wife and children, but that he remains strong, content, and virtuous through hardship and pain, just as he would through fortune and satisfaction, undoubtedly akin to the character of a Stoic, who too carries his valuables through burnt-down cities, remaining content. For what difference does it make what position you hold in life if you are unhappy with it? There is no sense in comparing yourself with others, and becoming resentful about the fortunes of what others have acquired. What difference does it make what a man possesses? What matters is how he feels, and not how he feels on a particular day, but how he feels every day. So, remain content, and realize that what you have is more than ample, and with this, you will begin to embody the characteristics of the Stoics and the many great thinkers of the past, and in consequence, become wise. For it is the wise man who is content with what is his. Remember, all foolishness suffers the burden of dissatisfaction with itself.